Hi, I have a bit of a story time, so grab a cuppa and sit down and we'll have a chat. I have started a new business and I want to talk about it. I have been a real estate agent in the Moreton Bay region for 10 years, and during that process we did a lot of tenancy applications, thousands of them. I noticed in doing those applications that people weren't getting processed because the forms hadn't been filled out correctly. They didn't have the right things in there. They had issues with filling out forms, knowing how to use computers, knowing how to use the apps. There was a lot of people that ended up homeless because of this issue. It's a really complex issue because as a real estate agency, when you're processing applications, you might have one property with 60 applications, all of which have 2 people each, and to be able to go through and ensure that every single person had filled out that form correctly so that you could then process it is not viable as a business to do that. So a lot of people, you would try and help as much as you could, but some people needed more individual hand-on help. People, in their 70s don't know how to even scan a driver's license and send it in. So there was a lot of people we found that struggled. They might have put the income in the wrong place. Because the forms, a lot of the applications are filled out onto tenancy apps now. If you don't, when it comes through to a real estate agency, it has criteria that are ticked. So if your income is low, then it will come up in red and say your income's too low. But what it doesn't say is whether or not you've put the income in the correct place to read as being such. So when I've been doing these applications and I've been trying to help as many people as I can, I came across one lady in particular who probably stood out to me. One of the last applications that I processed in my previous business. And she was in her late 50s and she had major anxiety. She had 2 support dogs. She worked part-time and she was on benefits. So her property that she currently lived in, she was paying $350 a week in a $650 a week property in Central Lakes in Caboolture, which is an expensive area to live. And her owners, she'd lived there a long time, her owners needed to renovate and get the property back up to where it needed to be or sell it. They weren't sure which they wanted to do. So they asked her if she could find somewhere else to live. And she was trying to do that. So when I found her, she had been looking for 12 months and hadn't been able to get anywhere. Hadn't been able to get an application across the line. She was just lost in the masses. So her income wasn't as high as it needed to be, but as a tenant, she was excellent. But sometimes when you fill out the criteria on these forms, it doesn't show that properly. So she was the type of person, she'd lived in the same place for 12 years. She'd worked at the same job for 10 years. She got paid, she paid her rent. She got paid, she paid her rent. So she was a really good solid tenant. She said to me when we approved her that I was the first agent that spoke to her in 12 months. And I was shocked at that because that's not right. That's not right. But it's not even so much the property manager's fault because the workload is humongous and they often don't have time. However, this happened and has been happening for a long time, and I've been helping as many people as I can get their applications up to a point where A, it actually gets processed, and B, we can try and help get them approved. So I have decided to start this business. It's called Application Heroes, and we will take people through bad rental history, how to get good rental history, and then to get approved, because there are processes that you can take. It might take a little bit of time, but there's things that you can do to show that you are a viable tenant to a prospective agency or landlord. People who don't have any computer skills, we can help you with that. We can help you with the cover letters. We'll do tenant checks, ticker checks, real estate references, and we can speak to real estate agencies on your behalf. So, bit of a long-winded message to introduce this, but I found over the 10 years that there's a really big hole in this area in particular, and there's a lot of people living in tents that have two incomes that just haven't been able to navigate this area. So I'll be doing lots of TikToks and I'm on TikTok and Facebook. I don't do anything else, but I'll be putting lots of stuff up there that can help you if you are struggling and you want a bit of help to do that. Then just comment or get in touch and I can help you to navigate this. So, you know, having a fully licensed real estate agent on your side helping you navigate this can take a lot of stress out of the situation. There's a lot of people who will rent to people who are single mums and who are on benefits. So don't think that you know, is a negative right off the start. A lot of property owners were single mums or on benefits in their time, and they do understand and they do look for that. It's about showing these people how reliable you are, how you're going to look after the property that you're applying for. So Application Heroes is the business. Hopefully you'll see me out and about doing things. I'm going to be talking to all the neighbourhood centres and stuff like that. So hopefully they'll be able to pass on information as well on how to get help from me. Any questions, throw them in the comments. Things you've had trouble with, throw them in the comments. I might be able to help. So big hole in the market. Hopefully it will, help some people. And that's all I'm trying to do is just help people get a home, because it is the scariest thing to have impending homelessness thrust upon you. And it's something I'm hoping to be able to help with. So any questions, throw them in there. Sorry for the long-winded intro, but yeah, hope to talk to you soon. See ya.